I finally made enough progress to make another build video on my 87 Grand National. I didn't get as much done as I wanted to, but at least I can get a video out. I've had quite a bit going on, and yesterday I was promoted to the rank of Senior Airman in the United States Air Force. We just completed a mission sending thousands of pounds of humanitarian relief supplies to Haiti on a KC-10. I've also been studying virtually non-stop for the past couple of weeks for a test that's coming up involving airlift and air transportation, so that's taken up a huge chunk of my time. So that's enough about Air Force stuff. Now we'll get back to the actual Grand National build. I still haven't repainted the stock rims and got rid of these god-awful excuses for wheels, but I will do that very soon. That's one of my top things on my list. Here in a second I'll show a picture of the stock engine as we got it out of storage. Now you can see that it has duct tape around the inlet bell and some vacuum cleaner hose replacing the stock hose that would have went to the MAF. Now this hose wasn't sealing up and neither was the inlet bell, and it was causing major problems. Now the alternator then proceeded to crap out on me. So what I did was I replaced it with a alternator that was the same amperage, but it had a lightweight pulley and a lightweight plastic face. And I know that's not going to reduce the rotating mass that much, but it has to help some. And a brand new alternator can't hurt anything. Make sure if you do an alternator replacement that you hang on to your original casting, because it was stamped with the 120A, and a lot of the AC Delco rebuilt ones get a 108 casing instead of the 120 amp casing. So if you want to keep it original, then make sure you keep that original casting. One thing I'm sure everyone noticed in the picture is that it has red spark plug wires. Now those are MSD 8.5mm superconductor wires, and there's a reason I picked those. I have read several places that they're one of the best options as far as spark plug wires go, and I've also read that the stock wires were so insufficient that just changing to wires such as these will give you better than 1/10 of a second gain in a quarter mile over a stock spark plug wire. One of my spark plug wires was actually frayed as well, so it was grounding out sometimes, and that one cylinder wasn't getting good spark, so that was also a pretty big problem that the car had. All of these modifications I've done to the car up to this point are small modifications, but all of them together have really gave this car a lot more power than what it had when I got it out of storage. It was running pretty rough when I got it out, and it's already got a lot more power and runs a lot more reliably. One thing I did here recently was I changed the oil and put a M1-201 filter on, and that filter is about twice the length of the filter that it calls for stock, and I have read that that stock filter actually is restrictive and it cuts down about 3 to 5 pounds of oil pressure, and also it can't hurt to have a little extra oil in there, so I would recommend getting this larger filter. You can see on the sides I've got the filter mags, and they're there to pick up any crap that might be floating through the system. The car does burn a little oil, and I know that a lot of these do, but this is a little more than the rest of our turbo Buicks, and I think it is due to a compressor seal. Also, this Hyperlube zinc additive, I always put this in here or some similar additive just to protect the cam. I also really like that engine restorer additive that you can buy, and I've stuck that in cars for years. I've been doing some small things to the interior as well, such as replacing switches and just cleaning it up and making it look a little nicer. The car overall is in pretty good shape, but it does have a few small rust spots underneath that I need to get addressed sometime soon. I think I'll end up rust converting those and then painting over them with some chassis black. I've got the car looking pretty clean though, and it's not all dusty and ratty. And I really like the way that it's turned out. It's become a great car. I've been daily in it. I drove it a few hundred miles to my Air Force base, and it was super reliable. I mean, I would trust this thing anywhere. These are great cars. I know a lot of people keep them in the garage all the time, but I like to do this with them quite a bit. Well, that's all I've got for now. Thanks for watching.